Today I want to speak about the rental market in Spain and also the investment side of it, because we are having interesting information about the occupants, the squatters, and it's growing quite fast now. I was just reading an article from Idealista, that is the biggest portal in Spain, and the end of last year, 2025, there was 24,000 properties for sale that was occupied for occupants, the squatters. And this number increased 5% only in the last 3 months. So investing in Spain is becoming very dangerous for investors, of course. And the rental market also is becoming risky. I just rented my apartment. I'm going to show this to you now. We just finished a very small renovation inside of the apartment, and we are about to sign tomorrow the contract. And then I will explain you how I'm managing this rental contract so you can understand the risks that you have. And I will also mention the experience I have working with apartments that were occupied from occupants. We are in Marbella, more precisely in Atalaya. This urbanization here is big. You have swimming pool, you have plenty of people living here all year round. There are some few properties that people are investing, buying here and putting it for rent, using it as a tourist apartment. But the main part of the people living here are just Spanish. We have plenty of Ukrainians also on this urbanization. From here we are like beside El Paraíso area with the golf course, also Atalaya golf course. We are actually at the border between Estepona and Marbella. So this is the access for the garage, is down there. My apartment includes a parking space. We are actually having a different year, because since I've been living here for 6 years now, I haven't seen before so much clouds and rain. Being very honest, the rainiest year for us since we are living here. Let me open it up. Let's see if we have light. Let me turn on the lights. Yeah, supposed to be working. Okay, yeah, this is the apartment. You probably have seen it before. We have done a very small renovation. Especially the painting is the main thing for the apartment, totally changed. Have a look at the difference we have now. I have shown the apartment before in another video. Like, we use just simple improvements at the decoration. And this is the terrace that I will later on invest a little bit more. We did this to create more privacy. This is the master. Actually, it's not a master yet. We are going to do that. But as we had before, we improved a lot. We're going to integrate that terrace to the bedroom, the main part, and use like a closet to expand the wardrobes. And from here, we're going to connect with the bathroom to create a master suite. So it's going to increase a lot the value. With small things that you do in a property, you can increase a lot the value of it. This apartment, it was before, previously it was a 3-bedroom, and we were lucky to buy it as a 2-bedroom, and we're going to turn it to 3-bedroom again, and this will increase a lot the price and the value of the apartment. Let me just turn on some lights. So come here, let me show you the kitchen. Here the kitchen, we clean it up. We invested $1,500. This is small investment, change a lot. This is the bedroom, the 3rd bedroom that we are going to create later. I like to ventilate the property always when I come here. And we rented this apartment for $1,500 as a 2-bedroom apartment. So you can have an idea about how much you can ask, and I think it's a great return for the investment I made. If you want to know how much I paid the apartment, send me a message at the link of the description. I can explain you more, and we can talk about investment if you are thinking to invest in Spain. But of course, as I mentioned at this video, you should be very careful if you are planning to invest because of the regulation in Spain for rentals, and that's what I'm going to speak about today. Because as I mentioned before, the occupants, let's say the squatters, people that are invading houses, they are very protected by law. And what is happening is that, as I mentioned, the number of properties that are occupied, they increased 5% in the last 3 months. And many properties that are for sale are occupied. The people are they are not trying to get the property anymore because the regulation doesn't help them on this way. And that's why some of these properties, they are being sold for 50, even 60% less than the market price. And that's a huge opportunity. It's becoming a very good opportunity, in my opinion, invest in properties that are occupied. So I want to just share with you a little bit of my experience helping a client of mine to take the occupa off. There's, of course, the legal process that can normally take around 2 years, 3 years for you to take the person off your house. You're going to spend around 3,000 euros. And there's another process that you can use, which is forcing the people to go out. There are many people working with this, especially in Barcelona. So Barcelona and Madrid, they are the main areas where this is happening. We have it all over the Spain, but the main problem is that the people don't care so much or enough for their properties that they don't even put an alarm. Like if you have, we have about 3 very good alarm system companies that if you put it in the property, you are safe because the people, when the alarm connects with someone getting inside of your property, it calls the police automatically, which means that it's easier for you to don't have this problem. Okay, that's a basic thing you should be doing. But when it happens, you have occupants there. Normally, they try to negotiate with the people that are inside, and you offer them 10,000 euros. That's what many people are doing. Many investors, I see, there are some investment companies buying properties in urbanizations dominated by occupants, and they buy the properties, like maybe 10 properties inside of urbanization, and then they buy it probably around 50% less of the market price. And then they start negotiating, they offer 10,000, and if they don't accept, they pay around 5,000 euros for anti-ocupas. We call it anti-ocupas in Spain. they are people that will manage to take the people outside of the apartment. They come one time and then they knock the door. They start tracking and following the people living there. It's a process that can take about 2 months, but it's very efficient. It's not illegal as I know, but many people do. So this is another way that you can, make money through that. Imagine you paying for an apartment 50% less. A 300,000 apartment, you buy it for 150, and you can maybe invest 10,000 euros, and then after 3 months you have the apartment for you. So you are making a lot of money, and this is something I'm sure that will keep being a very good investment if you are bold enough to take on this path. Okay, and talking about the renting market, I'm renting this apartment for 6 months. We are renting the apartment for Finnish guy, a young guy from Finland. He's a nice person. We got like around 20 interested people calling me after I announced the property in maybe 1 week. So from these 20, we narrowed down into 4 very good clients that normally are rich people that we feel that coming from a different country that is safer. So we can trust them because we analyze the profile. In this case, we are even having 2 people signing the contract to have the guarantee that we're going to get paid. So that's happening with many investors in Spain now. They are just taking care and thinking carefully what they will do with their property, because imagine if you rent your property, and it happened with me before. Like, I had a client that came to my office saying that he rented the property for a Filipinian woman that was always paying regularly 5 years, and then suddenly she stopped paying. And then after 1 year, he came here to try to solve this problem, and now it's a big issue because he's not living here, so he cannot manage the situation properly, the best way, for taking the people out. And that's why we are renting it for 6 months, maybe extending later if the tenant is good. And we know a regular, formal, long-term contract in Spain for renting would be 12 months or more. As you understand that you are going to take care for not renting the property more than 11 months. That's what many people are doing. And unfortunately, in Spain, we have the government more to the left side, and I really agree that we should take care of people, We should take care of people to allow them to have a place to live. And it's a big problem because the government is really not taking care of this, The government is just, like if I mention here in Costa del Sol, I was reading an article about Puente Romano. There's a very famous resort and hotel, and they are doing something different now. They are buying apartments to allow their employees to stay there, because there's a gap, there's a problem on the tourism industry at the moment here in Malaga. Because of this, workers are coming and they are spending around 40% of their income just to pay rent. Even when they can, most of the time they are not able to find a place to rent. And that's a big problem. That's a big problem from the business, from the touristic industry in Spain. And this problem is going to keep growing because of the legislation always protecting the tenants. Also, there's another interesting thing that by law, you cannot cut the electricity if it's in your name. For instance, if you rent out a property and keep the property, the electricity bills and the water bills in your name, and then the tenants stop paying, you cannot take them off, and you have to keep paying the bills every month. So instead of receiving the rent correctly, you are not receiving rent, and you are still having to pay the bills like electricity and water and community every month by law. So that's why we are having opportunities like this, like I mentioned before, like buying properties occupied for 50-60% less of the market price. So if you are an investor, think about it. It can be a real opportunity. But we know that Spain is not the best country for you to invest. I really like the living here. It's very quiet and calm, safe. But the housing problem is a big issue. And that's something I don't know how they will fix it. And I'm seeing that it's happening all over the world, not just in Spain, It's happening everywhere. But I hope I added value to you watching these videos. I want to send a big hug, greetings to all the people watching me from different countries, from France, from Canada, from the United States. We have many people now from the United States, unfortunately, coming because also the quality, the cost of living in America is very expensive. And this is why here is becoming more expensive, because people from rich countries, they are coming more and more. And at the same time, we see it can be a good thing, especially here in Malaga, Marbella. It's quite expensive to live, and it's automatically selects a little bit more and keep the city and the region a bit safer than others. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Leave your comment at the video. What do you think about the situation? How do you think we could solve the situation in some way? Spain, like now, is doing something totally different than many other countries. They are allowing everyone to come here, like immigrants are very welcome, the opposite of many other countries in Europe. So I really don't know what's going to happen very soon because of AI technology cutting the employment, and it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. See you at the next video. Bye bye.